Well, did it again. Another 2003 RX DI. It's been sitting out in the sun for a few years. Kind of all the leaves and bits and pieces have piled up everywhere, so it needs a good bath. And no pump, but I do have the pump, which is seized. So we're going to do a little rebuild on that. And other than that, the hull and everything's pretty good shape. It's only got apparently like 150 hours. So we're going to do a once over. Like, you look at the tub inside and everything, it's hardly been used at all. So we'll see what we're facing. Engine, have a look in here. Dirty, but nothing a pressure washer won't fix. So we'll see. It could be totally blown, I don't know. We'll hook up a battery and do all the different tests, and it's another project. So let's get into her. Well, there we go. Got them on the custom-made dolly. The more I check it out, the more I'm liking it. Not seeing much damage at all. Just needs a real good polishing. But anyway, the failure was the pump. That is seized solid. So I think I'm gonna set her up in the vise, see if we can get the impeller out. Even the impeller looks pretty good. So, but I think she's locked up there pretty good. So let's get set up and rip her apart. Don't know if that vise is going to be big enough to hold her. Jeez, it doesn't even feel like the bearings are shot. I don't know. Just maybe seized on there big time. The old shattered socket. Oh, that doesn't feel right. What size is that? 15, 16, so either it's a 7/8 or we're into metric. And we are 23 mil. She's locked. All right. What do we do? Heat it? Maybe. Can I throw some oil down there? Let's try it. Might have to let this thing soak. Or do we just need a bigger wrench? Let me get an extension. Extension. Probably not the safest thing to do. I'm wondering. Oh. All right, I'm gonna let that sit in an oil bath for a little bit. We'll give her another whirl. A little heat. Oh, that's just a hold on. Get her up to 10 million degrees. That's a ridiculously long pipe, I know. Oh my God. Something's gonna bust. That's the bolts on the table moving. All right, so decided I'd drill a hole through the center of the shaft since the shaft is toast anyway. It'll warm it up and should hopefully break that rust barrier. On top of that, I guess I'm going to do the pipe thing again. Give her a good crank. Gloves. Maybe we'll put the big pipe on her too. Come on, baby. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. That sucker is on there good. So that worked, taking the pressure off the shaft just by drilling a big hole in the center. It's already got a pilot hole anyway, so you can line your drill bit up nice and straight. Ooh. Could almost rattle that off, I bet, but put this on the floor so the pump wouldn't fall on it. Oh, she's getting easier. If that saves me a housing and an impeller, that's a huge savings on a used machine like this. You're trying to save everything you can. Holy cow! We'll have to give that a good rinse out. It's full of metal filings. But yeehaw. Not even that bad in there, really. A little crunchy on the bearings though, so now we'll get that shaft all apart. Seal out, axle shaft, or the shaft out. Do a rebuild. That's awesome. That's fantastic. And it's broken too. Got a crack right through her. Well, not destroyed, but not ideal. Not destroyed. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is get that shaft out of there. Alright, pops apart. Kind of rough in the housing, but came with the machine. I'm going to try it. I ordered a rebuild kit with some bearings. It runs on a washer. Nothing runs around the side, so that should be okay. The worst part would be the seal, oil seal in here. This seems to be good enough that it will seal. Loctite makes a sealant, so I'm probably going to put that around the seal as well. A little chunk out of there, but overall I think this thing will work fine compared to some of the stuff that I've used. So now I put a battery in her, and I did crank it over just to see if there was anything in the cylinders. Everything looks good. I scoped them. So I'm thinking we should just do a quick test fire just to see if it actually runs or not, or what kind of scary noises it has. I know what that weird sound was, and that's because the drive shaft is just flopping around in here. That thing fires up nice, and it is quiet and smooth. I think we're really nice shape here. So tomorrow I'll take the drive shaft out and we'll fire up. All right, dirty Seadoo take 2. Put a pump on that I had, stole from my son. So see if we get that weird noise gone. Oh yeah, it's gone. That is a perfect running machine. That's unreal. I didn't expect that. I'm used to the sham and scam deal. So I guess we're going to go into full restoration mode. I just started doing a little polishing up here versus over there. So we'll get this all cleaned up. Paint or some kind of decal. I might bring this back and see if I can get this wrapped or something, you know, because if I can get a nice graphic put on there, that would be pretty sweet. That's the worst part of the machine. So maybe I'll take that off tomorrow, take her up to the big smoke, and see if we can't get something going here. Yeah, a little bit of water crud in there. Lots of water and crud I want to clean up. So I'm excited. This is the next one to go. Okay, so I kind of jumped ahead a little bit. Didn't film it. Nothing exciting. Took it up, gave it a spray wash, got all the leaves and crud out, and cleaned her up inside a bit here. Could use another good cleanup, but enough to get us going. And then I pulled the drive off the other red one that we rebuilt and popped it on here. And that was nothing exciting either, because it was just the 4 bolts, hook up the steering linkage, the reverse gate linkage, and the you can't even see in there, the trim linkage. So that's all done. And then as you can see, it's quite faded here, so we're going to put a 3M, what do I like here, this rubbing compound, and then followed up with a polishing compound, and then I put on new finish, and that really makes her shine nice. And then this stuff I like too, this Mother's Black for all the trim around the edges here and everything, and that'll shine her up quite nice. So I actually did the rubbing compound on this side, so you can see right here, and then this side we got a little more of a shine going on her now. So and that hasn't had the new finish put on it yet. And yeah, I could go at this a little bit more, I guess. So we'll just take it as it comes. First thing I want to do is get this chalkiness off here. So let's get her going. And it's simple as that, and that takes up most of the chalky out of it. So now I'll go with a little bit of a polishing compound, and then the new finish. You could jump the polishing compound. This thing was really kind of crusty, so I like to, I don't know, run it. So let's go for the second coat. More shine on her again. All around. Still a little bit of haze there, but we're gonna hit that with the new finish now, and some dust everywhere. So now I gotta do the whole thing with a coat of wax. Oh yeah, I took this off too, off the other machine I had. Put this one on. 2 bolts, nuts underneath, spice that up. Looks a little better anyway. A little bit of a scuff there, but hey, it's 2003, coming up to what, 18 years? Not bad. All right, let's do the new finish. Finally, the Mother's, what the heck is this called? Mother's Ultimate Black. And then we're going to throw her in the water today. That's a big Okay, so that's polished up. Finished her up with this little wool pad I had, which I just found, didn't know I had. So that's got her pretty darn good. I think I can live with that going across the lake. So now I'm going to painstakingly do the other side, and then we'll take that one off the trailer, put this one on, throw it in the water, and hopefully go for a nice spin without any problems. All right, so this is kind of a dual purpose video because I'm testing out a new microphone. All these other ones sound so hollow. So now we got to try and get this machine on that trailer in this limited amount of room. But I think we can do it. And let's just give you a little better view. Not that you haven't seen me do this about 50 times. Still got a little bit of residue up here from the wax. Get her out in the sun. All right, how about a better view? That strap is twisted. Wind's picking up. I don't know how that's going to work for going for a spin, but I guess we'll see. All right. Now we'll throw in a paddle. Throw in a rope. If I can find a paddle here somewhere. Oh yeah. How about a broken one? Broken paddle's good. And a rope. Paddle installed. Rope. What else do we need? We need the safety kit. Two ropes, safety kit, that should be enough for test drive, and we should probably do a test start. And what did I do with the tether now? Right here. Cold start. Sounds good. All right, let's get the life jacket and all the gear together and get this done. I did it again. I cheated you out of some video. Forgot that this was giving a low volts warning, and so if you take the computer mount off, on the back is the voltage regulator. Rectifier, sorry, and that was pooched, so I just happen to have a couple, so I'm changing it right now, and then we'll check the volts. It was going down to about 11.5 volts when it was running. And then always drop your socket down in the bilge. That's very important. Because then it gives you something to do. All right. We'll get it. Screw on there and then we'll go fishing. If you work on Seadoos, you will discover that you got to get really good at getting parts out from under the bottom of the engine. They always end up going down there without fail. Sockets, wrenches, and one more screw. Okay, why don't I screw this together, mount the computer back on those two bolts, and then we'll do a voltage test. We do have another gremlin to chase too, that the speedometer is not working. I'm not sure what's up with that, but I did find a couple of chewed up wires up under the hood, and so now I'm starting to suspect that I taped them up, but I think maybe they were one or two has been eaten right through, so we'll chase that after we get everything else up and running. here. Do a battery test if that works. Just going to put a zip tie back on there. But let's check the bolts. .5. Success! Now I think what we'll do is I'll put a zip tie up on the front, and then we'll go for a test run, and then I'll come back and try and figure out what's going on with the speedo. If not, I have a Seadoo Pro GPS speedo, and we can pop that in. It's like the first week of April, and the water is not warm. All right. And so far, so good. No maintenance light. No low volts. But no speedometer. I'd say that was a successful run for sure. Got some old fuel in there with some fresh fuel, so once we get that through the tank, that should also help a lot. And let's go fix it. Okay, soldered the two wires that were chewed, which was up under the hood here. They were right in here, and there was still a good connection. They're still getting power up here to the gauges, nothing. So we're gonna go with Seadoo Pro. And that should fix us up, hopefully. So I had to make a little bracket. Just did a crappy weld up job. Took the bolts out of the computer. Made this thing here. That's gonna bolt on right there. And then we're gonna attach the Seadoo Pro GPS module to that. So let me bolt this up and then I'll show you the next step. That's gonna be tight getting in there, isn't it? That's a drop washer for sure. See? Everything falls. And it falls usually to a place you never see it again, except for today. Okay. Can I get it in that way? Barely. Oh, I think we got her. Ratchet. Woodpeckers just pecking down the house. Nothing like being outside though. That looks pretty good. Now, feed these through the top. Need a couple of zip ties. Let me grab some zip ties from inside. We got zip ties. That's snug. Nice. Now, clip the extra off. And we're going on a wire fishing expedition now. Gotta go on top. All right, I don't like it again. Now it's caught around the throttle cable. 3 times the charm. And in there. And then we have to disconnect the speedo, but we're keeping the temperature sensor still active, so it only bypasses the wheel. So we still have temperature sensor is the idea. And then just hook up our positive and negative to the battery. Yeah, sounds easy, but trying to get in there is a nightmare. So I'm going to hook that up, and then we'll go on to our next test. Okay, so got that all buttoned up. And I think the speedo goes up to 50, and if it doesn't hit 50, then you have to recalibrate it. So let's see what happens here. What is that, 45? So there's a magnet back in the garage. I like working outside today. Let's find the magnet. That's it there. Oh, we have a viewer. Let's see what's going on. So there's the calibration. I have to put this magnet over top while looking at the speedo to get the speedo to read 50 miles an hour. Where's the up? I don't know if I can do all these things at the same time. Up. Okay, you get the idea. I got to do this. Can't do it with one hand. Okay, so I think I got that all buttoned up and dialed into 50. You have to put the magnet on it first and then power up the ski, which I wasn't doing, and so it wasn't doing anything. So now I think we're ready to rock and roll again. Clean up some tools, and we'll go for a ride again. The water again. Give this little push. And another little push. Here we go. Do not want to fall in yet. And we're going to power it up, and the speedo should go right up to 50. Close enough. And then once that goes down to 0, it's on the satellite. Which is taking its time. First time may take up to, I forget what they said, 25 or 30 seconds to find the satellite. And then after that, then it holds a memory for 3 or 4 hours. There we go, let's see. And it's working. Now we're gonna go bug the neighbor. And that's another successful test drive, so we'll run it this summer and see what happens. See you on the next one.